Welcome to Oddball. I'm Charlotte Wilder. That's Amin Elhassan. We have a great show for you guys today. We have to talk about the Olympics, obviously. But we're going to start with a little bit of NBA news, which I feel like we haven't had in a long time. What's the last NBA news you remember?
Celtics win their 18th title.
Okay, great. Well, let's talk about something completely different. Lauri Markkanen signed a 5-year, $238 million contract, renegotiation and extension. He can't be traded for 6 months. This includes $220 million in new money. My main takeaway from this, Amin, is how we talked about the trading block like months and months ago, where it's like a guy's waiting outside for the bus. The trading bus comes along. He either does get on or he doesn't. Lauri Markkanen was waiting on that block for a long time, and now it appears he's just gone it back inside the house, and Utah is going to rebuild around this guy.
Oh, I got something completely.
You think they're going to trade him in 6 months?
Yeah. What, six months from now is when? 6 + 8 is 14 minus. That's February 7th. When's the trade deadline?
Is that the trade deadline?
NBA trade. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen, live on air. I'm looking up trade deadline 2025 is February 6th.
Okay, you're right.
So was it signed yesterday? Hold on. Was it signed yesterday or signed today? This is where it gets real interesting, right? Because if it was signed yesterday, that means he's going to be eligible to get, or yesterday or before, maybe the news broke now, but they did it on Monday or whatever. But regardless, if he was signed by August 6th, that means he's going to be eligible to be traded 6 months from now. And the big idea about that is you see $238 million and you think commitment, Charlotte. You know what I think? Cost certainty. Because the cap is going up. And we saw this some in 2015 and 2016. Because the cap is escalating, you're willing to commit money to players who say, is he really worth that much? Like, it doesn't matter, because in 2 or 3 years, that's going to be, quote unquote, a good deal for what he is relative to where the salary cap is. So, and the difference is 10 years ago, 2015, 2016, it was a huge jump all at once. And then that was just our new normal. This time, because of the cap smoothing, we are pretty much guaranteed it's going to go up by a certain amount every single year. So that in turn makes this in context look less and less onerous of a deal. So I don't think it's any coincidence that it's happening around this date, 6 months out from the trade deadline.
Yeah, now I'm fully convinced that Lauri Markkanen will not be with the Jazz come the second half of next season. We'll see. I sort of missed this stuff. I'm excited to get back to it once the season gets going or whenever it happens. But let's talk about Team USA basketball. Here is my sweatshirt. I'm wearing it. I think it's pretty cool. The Olympic men's basketball quarterfinals happened yesterday in France. A lot of close games in this round, but USA, Brazil was not one of them. Nope. Very boring. I got very, very bored. USA beat Brazil 122-87. And that's 122 points in 40 minutes.
Yes.
Like, less people forget. The international game is 40 minutes. Let's tell the people real quick what happened. Devin Booker led in scoring with 18 points. Do you think it is encouraging that a different player has been the lead scorer in each game so far?
No, I think it's irrelevant. It's like,
Okay, cool.
Guys are going to do what they're going to do. It's very much a flow, especially against an opponent like Brazil. But obviously, like you say, every single game, it's a different lead score. The matchups are different. The mismatches are different. And different guys, when you have this many great players, great offensive players, different guys are going to get it going in different ways, right? Sometimes the guy's a little slow to start. It doesn't matter. We've got someone else who's got it. And the idea is that at one point or another, someone is going to take the lead. We'll never be in we should never be in a situation where nobody's able to get it going. And so that's all that's reflective of. It's just a lot of great players, a lot of great offensive players, and Derek White. I kid. Derek White's a great offensive player. Hey, come on. He was the best player in the NBA. You didn't
even mean that.
He was the best player in the NBA in the first round of the playoffs. So, all right.
Yeah. Okay. Relax. Well, I just absolutely love the LeBron to Tatum alley-oop.
Yeah.
I got chills. I remember that, and that LeBron needed stitches after he got an elbow to the face. And I was sort of like, ooh, like, I would hate for LeBron to get hurt in this, for real.
With regards to the LeBron Tatum alley-oop, Tatum, all you got to do is request that trade out to LA, and all of a sudden, all your texts to Kobe get a lot quicker, man. They don't have to go cross country anymore. They can go.
Oh my God.
It's in town right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, I'm not the one who texts a guy. He texts a guy.
You're not texting him. Yep. Okay. Kevin Durant passed. Jesus. Kevin Durant passed Lisa Leslie for the most points at the Olympics by any U.S. player. Leslie had 488 points. KD has 494 now. And listen, I saw people talking about a KD tweet, and I got really concerned because usually when this man goes on Twitter, he's, quote tweeting people and defending himself, and it's just desperate and a little cringe. But this was actually just like a really sweet, lovely post. He posted a picture of all of his teammates and hanging out on some steps in Paris and the night. It's a beautiful picture, actually. And just said, records are meant to be broken. I'll hold on to this until another great comes along and passes me up. Lisa Leslie, you are the gold standard in basketball. I appreciate your love and support throughout the year. It's all about gold, baby. Let's get it, fellas. And that's like the most wholesome thing I think Kevin Durant's ever put on the internet.
Well, I think if you listen to Kevin Durant talk about basketball, he typically talks about it in this way. Whenever it's something like cutting or derogatory, it's usually talking to someone who isn't in basketball, who thinks they're in basketball by virtue of having opinions. But when he talks about the game, and he understands we are all standing on the shoulders of giants, right? And that everyone who comes along, we're just another stepping stone in this long pathway of basketball. And so Lisa Leslie and, Kevin Durant and Carmelo Anthony, and then whoever's coming next, whether it's Kyan Anthony 10 years from now or whoever, someone's going to break this record at some point is what he's saying, right? Maybe it's Caitlin Clark. Maybe it's Sabrina Ionescu. We don't know who's going to break the record, but it will happen. No record stands forever unless you're Usain Bolt, and that one's going to stand forever.
That 958. No, that's just like physically, no one's going to get there.
He jogged it, ladies and gentlemen.
I watched so many reruns last night after we'd been talking about it with the Noah Lyle stuff. And it's just, he was, no one will ever do that again.
To do it, that record might get broken. It won't get broken by someone doing it as easy as that.
Definitely
the person
not.
Who breaks
he
that
was
record
like jogging and looking to it.
Yeah. All right. Other things that happened in the game, Charlotte. Joel Embiid gave us the return of the DX chop. Can't show the video. We're just going to show you a still image of him loading up, about to do it. If you don't know what it is, it's like, all right, so like we used to do this in middle school a lot, and then some wrestler saw it, and then they took it, and now people think it's a wrestling thing, but it's like the suck it thing. Like you just like kind of like gesture provocatively towards your crotch region. So in the
like
NBA,
slight hip thrust, a lot of arm movement.
Yep. In the NBA, Joel got fined $60,000 for doing this, but this isn't the NBA. This
not
is
just
the Olympics.
Once. I need to stop you for a second. I mean, it was like $8,700 per chop, which totaled $60,000.
No. You
because he did it so much.
Joe Dumars and Mark Tatum and Adam Silver counting them like that's one. That's a half. It's like that old Key and Peele sketch. You ever see that one where
yes,
he's in the end zone? He's like, "Don't do it," and he's like, "Don't do it," and then you're like, "Oh, he did
like
it again."
Pump. Yeah. Right, they're in Secaucus being like, "We got to replay that." Also, Adam Silver invited everybody to the replay center at Secaucus, so I would like to go and replay all of Joel Embiid's DX chops. Not really. I actually don't love it. I'm like, do whatever you want. Just like that gesture in general from being like on the playground in 5th grade. You're like, what? Like, I don't need you. I don't need you to be doing that.
Why are these 11-year-olds doing this?
Yeah. I'm like, okay. Anyway, some other games in the quarterfinals were actually competitive, and those were really fun. Serbia, Australia was crazy. Serbia won 95-90 in an overtime comeback. I think it was the biggest comeback win in Olympic history.
The graphic tells us so. If you see, ladies and gentlemen, if you see an infographic, say it must be true.
Always. Everything on the internet is true.
Especially if it's an
Jokic
infographic. Someone took the time to make that.
This is okay. Jokic had 21 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals, and he played 39 out of 45 minutes. And I think it's important to note that Serbia was plus 17 in the 39 minutes that Jokic was on the floor and minus 12 in the other 6.
Right. And by the way, that has been the story throughout the Olympics, including against Team USA. When Jokic is on the floor, there is no advantage for anybody. If anything, the advantage is Serbia. The problem is what happens in those non-Jokic minutes. But the difference in Olympic basketball, Charlotte, and NBA basketball is in an NBA game is 48 minutes. So if you said Jokic played 39 minutes, you'd say, wow, Coach Malone, you did a great job of kind of conserving him as much as you could in a must-win scenario. In the Olympics, 39 out of 45 minutes is like, oh, wow, he played a lot. But the reality is it's still the same 39 minutes, which lends to this theory that in Olympic basketball, if you're top heavy, you can play your top guys a lot and not worry about depth as much because there's 8 less minutes in the game.
Yeah. I want your take on something too. I mean, with the Australia game, Josh Giddey seemed pretty emotional after the loss. And I think maybe for some U.S. basketball fans, that might have been surprising. What's your take on that?
Well, I mean, I think, look, playing for your national team here, it's kind of like going away to summer camp for USA basketball, at least, right? Like, there's so many great players, and no matter what the combination is, we expect to win gold. Like, it's not, not that big a deal, I would say, for most Americans, right? If you ask most American sports fans, what's more important to Jason Tatum, winning this Olympic gold medal or winning the championship for the Celtics a couple of months ago, I think most American sports fans would say clearly it's winning for the Celtics. But for all of these international players, playing for your national team is the highest honor. For Nikola Jokic, winning an Olympic gold is a higher honor than winning a championship for the Denver Nuggets. Because at the end of because there's a national pride here. Like, you grow up wanting to represent your country first and foremost, right? That's the big thing. And that is truly like the most coveted thing. You think about Olympics comes around once every 4 years. So forget about whether we're good enough or not. Just the opportunity to do it is very rare for Josh Giddey, who thankfully for his sake, he's a young guy. He'll get another crack at it and another crack at it after that. But he probably looks at a guy like Patty Mills and is like, man, that guy's really good for us. I don't know. Patty's going to be around in 4 years. And if he's not, who's going to take his place? And so there is a feeling of like, holy crap, what if this was it? What if this is our one chance to medal in this sport for our national team? And we just blew it, having led by a lot by 24. We were basically minutes away from at least playing for a bronze medal, if not something greater.
Right. They just watched those medal hopes slip away. Also, I want to say that was beautiful and profound. And now I want to say something obvious and kind of dumb, which is that what I love about the Olympics. You turn it on, you're like, I'm like, oh my God, that's right. Patty Mills is from Australia. Like, that's cool. So more guys who are from other places. Obviously, everybody knows Wemby's from France.
What?
France beat, I know. Maybe you didn't, but France beat Canada. They upset Canada, I should say, 82-73. And Wembanyama had 12 rebounds and 3 steals. He didn't score that much. We'll get to Team Canada in a second. I want to say one quick thing about Team France here is that Rudy Gobert didn't play that much. And after the game, he told reporters he'd injured his finger in practice and needed surgery. Sam Amick report that he had surgery on his right finger yesterday. Thankfully, he was able to play it all. And I saw that and I was like, what? Because then French coach Vincent Collet, said that Gobert didn't have surgery, just, quote, an exam that included an MRI and caused Gobert pain. Also, maybe it's a translation thing. Someone was saying that Gobert said, I was on the operating table, but he was really just getting an MRI. Does Gobert know what surgery is? I mean,
it's not a translation thing because Sam Amick didn't say Rudy Gobert said to French press. He told us meaning the American press. And I checked, Rudy Gobert speaks English. Has been in the league for more than a decade and knows Sam Amick. who is one of the
also Sam Amick, who is an amazing reporter who wouldn't get that wrong.
One of the premier national reporters. He's not getting enough of Google Translate, ladies and gentlemen. No, I think we could just say, hey, Rudy Gobert, another in a long line of things that he said that people are like, what's wrong with you, dude?
Yeah, weird guy. Quickly, Canada was a big disappointment because they've got a whole team of NBA talent. They couldn't beat France. I think watching them, obviously Jamal Murray is a big takeaway that he did not play well again. Against France, he was 3 for 13. He had 1 assist. He had 3 turnovers, and Murray scored 24 total points in the Olympics, shooting 29%. Does this, I mean, I don't know. Jamal Murray, like, obviously, he looks pretty good when he plays with Jokic. Does playing not with Jokic and playing badly affect him or his future at all?
Yes, if the Denver Nuggets are planning on trading or releasing Nikola Jokic. They're not doing that?
Well, yeah.
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It sucks. If anything, if I'm Calvin Booth and Coach Malone, I'm like, see, this is why you don't need to play for them. They don't know how to use you. We know how to use you. You should focus all your energy and health and time right here in Denver.
Maybe just stick around in the States. Okay, off-court Olympics. We love this game. This is sponsored by Liquid IV because if hydrating were an Olympic sport, you would win the gold. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code Oddball at checkout. Amin, you and I are going to award gold, silver, and bronze medals to Olympians for their contribution off the court. We're going to start with bronze here. The bronze medal goes to Jrue Holiday simply for eating ice cream before a game because that's brave. If I've seen something brave, that's having dairy before you work out, I think is very impressive.
Can I make a reveal here? I don't enjoy ice cream that much. Every once in a while, might have like a little bit, but not really a fan of ice cream. It's too cold.
I mean, it's not like my first go-to dessert, but then when I have it, I'm like, oh, this is really good. So maybe that's why they decided to have a sport together.
Take it or leave it. It's okay.
I think I like ice cream more than I used to like ice cream. I don't think I would have it before I worked out, though.
When people talk about like, oh, I sat on my couch and ate a pint of ice cream, I'm like, you ate a pint of ice? I can't even have more than a couple of scoops. And I'm like, I'm good. You guys got it from here.
Okay, now you're just bragging. All right, our producers are putting a ton of question marks in the document right
like
now.
Ice cream like that? Like, all right. Well, silver medal. Silver medal goes to LeBron James and Tom Brady. See, they took a picture together, all those rings together.
Right.
Yep. That's video. Yeah, there you go. Look at that.
I think also LeBron says it wouldn't be possible without her, referring to his wife, Savannah, which is, Tom Brady got divorced. So I don't know. There's something there.
Look, you think LeBron is like, Tom Brady's feelings or my status at home? Sorry, Tom. I'm going to be the champ at home before I worry about you.
So LeBron is smart. So you're saying LeBron is an intelligent person.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, gold goes to Anthony Edwards, who was surprised by his teammates for his 23rd birthday on Tuesday. Very cute. I don't remember turning 23 at all. It's sort of a weird birthday. How do you feel about surprise parties, though, is the most important question to come off of this topic.
I've never had a surprise party. I've been involved in throwing surprise parties. I think it's kind of fun and cool. And there's always that nagging feeling in the back of your head, like, what if the surprise kills them? And like, oh, man, that'll be a story for ages.
What if they have a heart attack from this birthday party?
I always think every time I'm part of a surprise party, I'm like, oh, what if, right? But I've never been the subject of a surprise party, so I don't know. I don't know what that feels like. You can't surprise me. I put things together too quickly. I can't. I'm a tactical genius. What can I say?
I take that as a challenge for the next season of the NBA.
Sure. All right. Okay. Honorable mention goes to Ellis Dawson, Director of Basketball Operations for Team USA. The internet knows him as the guy who had boxes of candy for Team USA. And DLS had him on today. It was a super funny appearance by him. But I just want to say this is a real guy with an important job in his 5th Olympics, ladies and gentlemen. This is the guy who gets the team ready. He handles all facets of the men's and women's competitive programs, including player personnel and basketball operations during trials, training camps, and competitions. So it's not like he just shows up to France for vacation and hands out candy. He's doing this year round. Right. He's one of the unsung heroes behind the scenes. Glad to see him getting some shine. And, you know, as someone who was an unsung hero behind the 2008 gold medal game, no, guys. I just did my part. And Mr. Colangelo said thank you and handed me a t-shirt for it. I'm glad to see Ellis get some shine, even if it is for causing cavities.
Me too. And after the break, we're going to give some shine to previewing the semifinal rounds and betting the show when we come back. Stick around. Welcome back to Oddball. It is time for Bet the Show. Bet the Show is presented by DraftKings. Stay tuned because you'll hear more about DraftKings and all it has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Oh, yeah. Also, we haven't done this in a while, huh?
I know. It's exciting because we're going to preview the Olympics semifinal round using Bet the Show. First up, France, Germany. The host nation, France, faces Germany in the Olympic finals Thursday. Are you taking Germany -5 or France +5?
I'm very tempted to take France in the points, but no, I think this German team is for real. They won the World Cup. They came here. They're showing out. Mean business. They beat Greece rather handily, if I do say so myself. I'm going with Germany -5. Come on, Dennis Schroeder and the Wagner brothers, excuse me. Take me home.
They feel like twins, though. I get what you mean.
Who do you think has more pressure? Germany or France?
France. Because they're the host nation.
Nah, they don't care.
Yeah.
They're smoking cigarettes, eating baguettes, getting surgery, maybe not. All right. What else do we have? Next game, we got USA, Serbia. Team USA faces the Joker and the Serbs in the semifinals. The line is set at 16.5 points, Charlotte.
Whoa.
So are you taking Serbia plus 16.5 or USA minus 16.5?
I'm going to take Serbia, not necessarily to win, but that seems like a lot of points for a team that has Nikola Jokic on it and that has been just staged an incredible comeback against Australia to get here. So I don't know. That spread feels a little nuts to me. And the South Sudan spread against US, which was 31 points, that didn't hit either. So I think I'm going to take Serbia on this one.
Yeah, I back you up for two reasons. Number one, we talked about the Serbia plus minus when Jokic is on the court, even against Team USA. It was very close. And the second part of that is we know that, as we talked about in the last segment, it's a 40-minute game. So if coach wants to play him 38 out of 40 minutes or 39 out of 40 minutes, he can do that. They've got enough days rest. This is it. This is, as they say, nut cutting time. This is for a chance to play for gold. So I'm with it.
All right. Kevin Durant points. As we mentioned, he's now the all-time points leader. His over-under against Serbia is the highest of any player at 14.5. Are you taking KD over or under 14.5 points against Serbia?
So again, going back to our last segment, we talked about the idea that every game is a different character. So it's not that though I think KD can score more than 14.5 points. Of course he can. Of course he might. But is that game going to be his night, or is it going to be Anthony Edwards' night? Is it going to be LeBron's night? Is it going to be Anthony Davis' night? Bam Adebayo's night? Derek White's night? I don't know. So I'm gonna err and say over because KD is just such an unstoppable force. But that one to me, like, you at your own risk, you take that bet.
Yeah. All right.
Last one. The Olympic MVP, Charlotte. Here are the favorites to win Olympic MVP. LeBron James is going at minus 105. KD is at plus 425. Ant plus 800. Franz Wagner plus 1300. Jokic plus 1800. Wemby plus 2200.
So I'm going to take KD at plus 425. I know that's not super original. For some reason, I don't think it's going to be LeBron. I think it would be KD of the American players. However, if Serbia can stun the US, it's going to be Jokic. So I might put a little money on Jokic at plus 1800.
I'm putting all my money on Jokic plus 1800 because if he has a great game and loses against USA, but it's close, and then has a great game in the bronze medal game, Like they're gonna say this guy was the best player in the tournament, and he's gonna win MVP.
Right. Well, we're the MVPs here, and that's all we have for Oddball today.
Yep, Michael Jordan's deep point fake.
Okay.